Crush.
Okay, we are live. Hello, Facebook. Hello, Instagram. If you are around and you're on the live, then give me a wave. Tell me where you're tuning in from. It's Evelyn here. Hello, Isabella. Thanks for joining us. So this is our weekly live training, and we go live in our Crush Your Fitness Marketing Facebook group each Wednesday. And so today it's 11:11 and we're live. And today I'm going to be talking about the 3 numbers that you need to know in order to know if your Facebook ads are working or not. So if you are ready for that, guys, I want you to give me a little wave or a high five, and let me know where you're tuning in from. Hey Jamie, good to have you here from Brisbane. Love it. Hope it's sunny up there. It's sunny here in Sydney today, so we are happy. Hey Michael, good. Hello. So now let me just do one thing. If you're still joining me, keep saying hello, and I'm just going to share this quickly into the event so everyone knows that we're live. Here we are. Oops. Alrighty, so if you are joining me, like I said, make sure that you say hello in the comments, where you're joining from, all of that. Now, if you're not sure who I am, my name's Evelyn. I'm the head of digital brand here at Com Marketing. So everything that you see or hear or experience online, that's what I'm responsible for. I am also a Facebook ads expert. I'm an email marketing expert, and I'm the first certified active campaign specialist here in Australia. So sounds pretty impressive, but really what that means is I love helping our ninjas be able to get better results on Facebook, get better results through email marketing, and all of that kind of thing. So, you know, it's funny when you hear people kind of say, you know, what they're good at or what their specialties are. You know, really for that, you know, for me, it's not to sound impressive. It's just to say, guys, I know what I'm talking about, and I really want to bring some value and help you today. So, like I said, hello, Helen. Good to have you on Instagram. So look, you know, we've been testing out a couple of things on our Facebook Lives. So we go live in our Facebook group, Crush Your Fitness Marketing, every Wednesday. We do a live training. It is a fantastic group, over 1,000 members in the fitness and the wellness space. So what we do is we do that live. So we've also been going live on Instagram. So hello, Instagram. And I am going to be live here for a couple more minutes. And then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to hop on over to Facebook, join the group Crush Your Fitness Marketing, and then you can watch the rest of the live. But we'll be with you for a few minutes. So hello, Natasha from Perth. Beautiful. Thanks everyone for joining. Hey, Ray. I can see you're joined us too. So let's get into this, because I want to talk about Facebook today. I want to talk about Facebook ads. Now, let me know in the comments if you have ever run Facebook ads and thought one of these things. Is this working or not? Am I spending too much money on this? You know, why isn't this as easy as everyone says? You know, literally I'm looking at all these numbers and I have no idea. If that is you, give me a little thumbs up or a little crazy head in the comments. You know, on Facebook ads, I have to say, are not easy. I do kind of say sometimes to our ninjas, yeah, easy, just you know, get the ad up, blah blah blah. But actually, when you're not running ads, it's not easy, and you create kind of, you know, these great ads. You spend so much time on the copy. You spend so much time choosing an image or a video, and then you kind of like leave it. And you come back, you know, maybe a couple of hours later or a couple of days later, and you're looking at this whole kind of columns and columns of data, and you're thinking, what the hell is this? Hey, James, good to have you. I love the crazy head. You know, and it's so like that. It's like, what do we do now? There's all of these numbers to focus on. And so I have 3 numbers that I look at with all of our clients, our Facebook clients, our ninjas, our scalers, everyone, 3 numbers only that will tell me exactly if this ad is working or if this ad is tanking. And actually this morning, I just got a message from one of the girls in our scale group, and we went through her ads on Friday, and I went through these 3 numbers that I'm gonna go through today, and she said to me that her leads have doubled every day since she made those changes to those, and after looking at those 3 numbers. So if that makes you excited, give me a thumbs up, guys, because I am ready to give away all of my secrets today. So in saying that, I'm gonna say goodbye to our friends on Instagram. If you wanna hear the rest of this, you need to come onto Facebook, join Crush Your Fitness Marketing, just type it in the search bar and you can watch the rest of this either live or on replay. Okay, see you guys. All righty, so let's get into this straight away. So firstly, I know all of you out there are small business owners. As a small business owner, it's really hard. You've got constraints, right? You've got budget constraints. You don't have $1 million that you can spend on Facebook. I watched a documentary last night during the American presidential campaign. Donald Trump was spending $1 million on Facebook every single day. Now, as small business owners, we don't have $1 million that we can spend every day on Facebook. We might have $5, we might have $30, we might even have $50, maybe. And so what we need to do is make sure that we are getting the biggest bang for our buck when it comes to Facebook ads. So we want to make sure that we're getting the most leads possible. So rather than just putting your boost out there or creating an ad and then leaving it and wondering if it's working, we have to go back, we have to analyze the numbers, and we have to see, is this working, is it not, is there something I could be doing better? And these are the questions that I get every day on Facebook Messenger, in our groups, you know, in our live programs. People ask me every day, is this working? I really just don't know. And so what I want to do is I want to give you today the tools so you can see straight away if an ad is working or not. And you'll be able to see within 24 to 48 hours if that ad is going to, you know, go really well or not. So all of this depends on, so look, there's one number, and this is like the bonus number, let's say, that is the most important, and that's the results, okay? So whatever you're doing on Facebook, you wanna see, is there results? So does that mean, is there leads? Are you getting video views? And so that all comes back to how we choose the objective on Facebook, okay? So when you first create a campaign, now I'm not talking about boosting here, I'm gonna go and jump into if you're creating Facebook ad campaigns, okay? So first thing you do when you create a campaign is Facebook asks you, what's your objective? And basically Facebook's asking, what's your goal with this campaign? And this is a super important question to answer and make sure you get it right. Because I see a lot of people who put their objective in as post engagement or traffic, or some other kind of objective like that, when their objective is actually they want leads, or they want people to sign up to something, or they want people to watch their videos, or that kind of thing. So it's really, really important that when you're creating your Facebook ad campaigns that you choose the right objective. If you want people to go to your landing page or your website and put their details in, that's a conversion campaign, and you need to make sure that you choose conversions in the objectives. And I'll tell you why that's important. Because Facebook, as we all know, has so much information on every person, okay? And so they're really invested in learning our behaviors. And so if we say, for instance, our objective is Facebook engagement, okay? So that's getting people to like or comment or share our posts. But really what we're wanting is for people to click on the link, go to our website and put their details in. But what Facebook is, because you told Facebook that your objective is to get engagement, what Facebook is going to do is it's going to send you the traffic of people on Facebook who like to engage. They're the people who like to like things and comment things and share things. They're not necessarily the kind of people who like to click on a link and go and sign up for something, okay? So when you switch that objective to the one you actually want, then what happens is Facebook is going to find the best traffic for that objective, okay? So that's really number one. And usually I have my bonus at the end, but that's my bonus at the beginning, guys, because you're here on time, ready for Crush Wednesday. So make sure, first things first, that you get your objective right, okay? So ask yourself before you start any campaign, what is my goal? Is it leads? Is it engagement? Is it traffic? Any one of those. And so Facebook is going to find the right people for you for that objective. Now that's important because sometimes when you log back in after creating a Facebook campaign, you've got no results and you're like, this definitely isn't working. But how do you know what's not working? You know, is it the copy? Is it the image? Is it you didn't put the right audience? Is it something to do with the landing page they're going to? There's so many different factors, okay? And so when we're trying to work out what's wrong or what's right, we need to look at 3 specific numbers, and that's what I'm going to talk about now, okay? So if you're ready, put ready in the comments, and we are going to get started. Now, I love numbers, okay? It's my favorite thing to talk about because numbers tell a story, numbers tell the truth. You know, sometimes as business owners, I know you guys, you get these gut feelings and you're like, it's definitely not working, this Facebook ad. And yet, when we actually look at the numbers and we go through it logically, the numbers actually tell us this is actually okay. So if you're ready, I want you to put ready in the comments, and then I am going to get started on telling you the 3 numbers that you need to know in order to know if your Facebook ads are working or if they're tanking. So are you ready, guys? Because I'm ready. I'm ready to go. So number one is this thing I call impressions. And you've probably seen this when you log in and you see all of the columns in your ads manager. So impressions is one of those, and there's 2 that are very similar. One's called reach and one's called impressions. Reach is the single number of people who have seen your ads, okay? So someone might have seen your ad 2 or 3 times, but in reach, they're only counted once, okay? So it's like a single person who has been reached with your ad. With impressions, what impressions is, it's the amount of times your ad has been seen by anyone at any time. So if they've seen it 3 times in the newsfeed, it's counted as 3. So impressions are really important because especially when we're working with a lower budget, impressions will help us to know kind of like how long should we wait? You know, like I'm impatient. I've been on Facebook all morning, right? The last couple of hours, tweaking some ads, doing some things. And then I just come back like half an hour later and I'm like, oh gosh, is this working? Tell me if you've ever done that before. If you've like put some ads up and then like in a few hours, you're like, oh, have I got any leads or what's happening? I've only got 1 click, you know, that kind of thing. If that's you, put your hand up and just, you know, let's all admit that we're a little bit impatient sometimes. Okay, so what happens is, you know, it takes some time for ads to work. It takes some time for Facebook to kind of, you know, be putting it in front of the right people and all of that kind of thing. So my general rule, and this is the first number, okay? The first number that you need to know is 2,000 impressions. That is the number, the magic number before you make any changes on your ad. Now, it's going to depend on your budget. If you're spending $5 a day, it might take you 4 days to get to that number. If you're spending $50 a day, it might take you half a day. So you just need to know. That's why I don't really speak in terms of days anymore. I just say to people, how many impressions has that campaign got? And it works down down the rungs, okay, of the Facebook ads. So in Facebook Ads Manager, you have your campaign, you have your ad sets, and then you have your ads. And so what happens is, with an ad set, you get to choose your audience and your budget. With the ads, you obviously get to test different ads out, okay? So what you want to do is you want to look at the campaign level. Has this campaign got 2,000 impressions? If it hasn't, you need to leave it, okay? You're not going to be able to find out any good information if you start to change things when it's below 2,000 impressions. If it's above 2,000 impressions, then we've got the go button and we can continue on with our next few numbers, okay? So if that's helpful to you, give me a thumbs up in the comments. Now, the other thing is, if you've got any questions about any of this, Facebook ads, whatever, maybe you're running a campaign, you're like, I have no idea what's going on, or you have a specific question, make sure you write them in the comments. I would love to hear what your questions are, because I want to leave a little bit of time at the end for me to answer some questions for you, because I know Facebook is a bit of a, I suppose, yeah, like it's a bit hard maybe to understand at first, but actually, once you get into kind of knowing the right numbers and having these, I call them KPIs for myself, like I can immediately see whether a campaign's working or not, just by these numbers, okay? So just gonna check here. Okay, I've been missing some of your comments, guys. Sorry. Okay, I was like, where are all these comments? Okay, hello, sorry. I've seen Sharon is here. She's ready. Wendy's ready. Natasha, Jamie, Michael, Roxy's here. Hello, Roxy. Okay, so very good tip. I used to wait 4 days, but I need to wait for 2,000 impressions. Exactly right, Jamie. So, you might be able to actually tell if your ads are working quicker now. So 2,000 impressions, that's the first number, guys. Are you ready for the second number? I am ready to go. Now, the second number is something that I call CTR, okay? Now, when you go through all of your columns in Facebook, there's all of these acronyms, there's all of these like different stuff that you're looking at. I scroll all the way, this is what I tell people, scroll all the way over, I wanna see your CTR. What that means is click-through rate, okay? And what I'm looking for is a click-through rate of 1% and above. Okay, it sounds super low, but actually on Facebook, 1% and above is very, very kind of average and in the middle and good for what we're doing. And you can imagine that there is thousands of impressions happening on our ads, and only kind of, like there's only so much Facebook can show you. There's only so many things that people can click on. So if you're looking at a click-through rate and it's 1.3%, or it's 2%, you're doing amazing, guys, okay? And so if you've got a click-through rate and it's kind of lower than that, look, all of these numbers, right, that I'm about to give you, I always have a bit of a leeway. If it's 0.9%, guys, I'm totally okay with that. I'm like, look, maybe it's a bit in the yellow zone, and I'll have to keep an eye on it. And if, if it's not like, if it doesn't improve, maybe I can do some things to improve the ad. So what happens though if my click-through rate is a 0.3? That kind of thing. If that happens, then so basically click-through rate. I'll tell you how it's you come up with the click-through rate. So basically, what Facebook does is they look at the impressions. Okay, so you've got the impressions of the ad, and so we've just been talking about 2,000 being kind of our magic number to be able to know, is this campaign working or not? And then you've got the clicks that are happening on your ad. Okay, so basically it's just a division. So it's the impressions divided by the number of clicks, and then times 100 to make it a percentage. Okay, so what happens is if you have a click-through rate that is 1% or above, what that means is that your audience and the ad that you've created, people are responding to it. Okay, so people looking at the ad, whether it's an image or a video, they're looking at the copy and they're compelled to click, okay? And so, and that's all that means. So if it's 1% or above, people are responding to your ad and that's positive, okay? If it's 1% or below, okay, what that means is that people are not necessarily responding. And so there's a few different things that I'm looking at. Hey, Tracy, good to see you online. So there's a few things I'm looking at when the click-through rate is below 1%, okay? Because what that tells me is that either the audience is not right or I haven't got the ad right for that particular audience, because people are seeing the ad, but they're not clicking through on the ad, okay? And so there's something not quite right. So maybe that might mean that I have to go back and have to look at my audience. Maybe I've chosen some interests that are just not, they're just not connecting with people. Or maybe it's my copy or my image. So they're the three things that I look at when my click-through rate is 1% or below, okay? So it's image, copy, audience. And I just have a look at that and I just think through, okay, I've chosen this audience that are interested in health and fitness. Am I speaking the right language to them? Have I really like nailed it with an image? So, you know, when we talk about images and video and all of that kind of thing, I think I'll do another live on actually how to create these feed stopping images. But, you know, what you want to do is like the image or the video is what makes people stop on the feed, okay? So sometimes we really want to make that image like, you know, like we're kind of in print world still, so we're like, we create a flyer and then we put that as the image. But actually what we want to do is we want to choose the most feed stopping creative. You know, that might be an unusual image, it might be a funny image, you know, it's something that just makes people stop, okay? That is what the image has to do on Facebook. And then the second thing that then people go and do is they read the copy, okay? And so you need to make sure that the copy is kind of in line with the image and that kind of thing, okay? So that is number 2. So our first number was 2,000 impressions. If you don't have 2,000 impressions on a campaign or an ad set, then you need to leave the ad a bit longer until you get those 2,000 impressions. The second one is the click-through rate, okay? It needs to be 1% or above. If it's below 1%, people are not responding to your ad. Now, the third number is cost per click, okay? So this goes along the same way as click-through rate, and I always pretty much find that these two numbers, like there's never a disparity. So we're looking for a 1% or above. With a cost per click, we're looking at $3 or below, okay? So $3 or below. I very rarely find that I've got a cost per click of $4 and then a click-through rate of 0.3. It's always in line. So one is always above, one's always below, or the other way around. That makes sense. Okay, so cost per click, and you know, this is, Facebook calculates this by seeing how much you spent divided by how many clicks, okay? So, and that's why it's so similar to the click-through rate. So I'm always looking for 1% or above click-through rate and $3 or below for cost per click. Now, let's just go right back to the beginning, guys, because the first thing, the bonus, you know, if you were here right on time, I talked about the bonus, okay? And I talked about that magic number being results. So if you're looking for leads, right? And on your campaign, you have your click-through rate is 1% or above. Your cost per click is $3 or below, but you don't have any results. What do you actually do then? So this happened last week. I was talking to one of our clients, and so what we kind of worked out was that people on Facebook were responding to the ad. Okay, so people were stopping with the image, they were reading the copy, they were clicking through. But when they got to the lead form, because he was running a lead form, something on the lead form was stopping them from putting their details in. And so we had to work out what that was, okay? And so basically I call that a disconnect. So there's a disconnect between something that you're saying on the ad and something that's on the kind of the destination, whether you're using a lead ad, whether you're using a landing page, all of that kind of thing. So that's the general reason why there would be no results, but you're getting kind of good in these other numbers, okay? Kind of the peripheral numbers. So if that's happening now, it could also be happening just because Facebook is an expensive place to be able to get leads, okay? So, you know, in general, okay, I'm going to be very general in terms of kind of how much you're going to have to spend per lead, and it is a bit scary sometimes, but you know, if you're running a gym, okay, so you're just out there, you wanting to get memberships, you're going to be looking at leads between kind of the $5 mark and the $15 mark, okay, around about that. If you are doing small group training, you are going to be looking at leads between $15 and the $30 mark, okay? If you are doing private one-on-one training, you are looking anything from the $30 mark up to the $70 mark, okay? So those are the general numbers that you need to kind of get used to before you start to run any Facebook ads. You know, so many people think that I've got a challenge running next week, I'm just going to put $20 on Facebook and I'm going to fill my challenge. Unfortunately, in 2019, that's not working. Okay, and so you have to be really strategic, and you have to really know your numbers, and you have to really be comfortable with the fact that you're going to have to spend some money to get your leads through Facebook. It's not 2010 anymore, where you can be getting, you know, your little $2 leads on Facebook, and you know, like, no one is more upset about that than I am, guys, because I run Facebook ads all of the time. Okay, so and the reason for that is just it's becoming a really crowded marketplace. There is so many people who are putting their money on Facebook. There's so much more content that's coming through our newsfeed. There's so much more that's trying to get people's attention. And so it's really, really tough to be able to kind of get that traction. It doesn't mean that Facebook ads can't work for you guys. Of course they can work for you. And we have so many of our ninjas that it is working for them. But it's about looking at these numbers and then seeing, you know, how can we maximize that budget? So you might be running 2 different ads, guys. So you might choose one image against another image. And so all you have to do to maximize that budget is you have to look at those 2 different ads. You have to see, have they both reached 2,000 impressions? Yes, they have. Okay. Is one above 1% and another below 1%, or, you know, that kind of thing? What's the cost per click? And so you can see very quickly, if you're testing 2 different ads, which one's going to perform better for you, okay? So the more clicks that you get, the more chance that you're going to get for people to respond to your ad. So guys, those are my 3 numbers. If that has resonated with you, then give me a little thumbs up in the comments. And let me know kind of, you know, which one of those did you have no idea about? Maybe it was all 3. And how are you going to kind of put that into place? Are you going to go back into your Facebook Ads Manager now and just have a quick look around and see that kind of thing? So let me know, and let me know if you've got any questions for me, because I'm keen to answer some questions if you have them. And you know, I love talking about Facebook ads. It's like I'm one of the few people who gets excited about this stuff. Yeah, Roxy says all 3, no idea. Thanks heaps. Perfect. So guys, if you have questions, please put them in the comments. I can get on later. I can answer them. And I just love to talk about Facebook ads. But I'm probably going to love you and leave you. It's 29 minutes. I did want to do a shorter 20-minute one, but guys, I just love to talk about this stuff. So look, we go live every week, 11/11 in the Crush Your Fitness Marketing Facebook group. as you all know. So keep joining us. I think Raymond or Angela might be talking next week. We're going to continue this theme of know your numbers. Okay, so Angela's going to be talking about know your sales numbers. Raymond's going to be talking about some other stuff. And Richard is going to be back this month. He's been busy this morning. He is at MindBody. He's doing a presentation there. And we have so many events coming up, guys. So if you have not been to one of our live events, we have one in Sydney next week. We have one in Wollongong the week after. In what's next month, November, we are coming up to Queensland. So we're going to be doing an event on the Gold Coast and also in Brisbane. So if you're interested in that, just pop a comment in and we can get you the information that you need. Okay, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. Make sure that you take today to crush Wednesday. That is the reason for this. Wendy says, excellent, thank you. Natasha says, are you best off not putting an audience? Evelyn, what do you think is an acceptable opt-in rate on a landing page? Very good question. Oh my goodness. Guys, okay, Jamie, yes, what do you think is an acceptable opt-in rate on a landing page? Look, I used to say it was 30%, but now it's kind of down to that 20-25%. And finding that the lead boxes on Facebook are a better way to get bulk leads. Sometimes they're not as qualified, okay? That's the answer to that. Natasha says, are you best off not putting an audience? Look, oh my gosh, I've got so many kind of good things that I want to talk about on these Facebook Lives, but I would say a lot of the time, especially because, you know, I think, Natasha, you're in Perth, it's a smaller population, so sometimes we can't get the audience that we need, okay? So sometimes all I do is I do a base audience, and that's just demographics. And I just push that out and I just see, you know, can this work? If I can kind of get a bit more of an audience, I might put like a health and fitness interest in, but that's my opinion on that. Jamie says, Brisbane event, please. Yes, thank you, Ev. I'm going to check those numbers. Perfect, Sharon. And let me know if you want me to check your numbers as well. Okay, guys, love you all. Join us next week. And yeah, go crush your Wednesday.
Crush.